This is one of the more important videos in the course because we're going to be writing out some of the notation we're going to be using throughout the semester. You'll notice that I've got three columns here, one for the inequality, one for the graph on a number line, and the third for interval notation. Let's begin with the inequality x is greater than 2. On the number line, this would be graphed as an open circle at 2 because we do not include the point, and everything to the right of it would be shaded. Shading in the arrow at the end of the number line indicates that this pattern continues to the right. In interval notation, this would be written as the interval from 2 to positive infinity. We do not include the 2, therefore we use a parenthesis. When we do include the 2 and we have x is greater than or equal to 2, the graph has a filled-in circle at the number 2 before it then gets shaded to the right. We indicate this in interval notation with an open bracket at the number 2 on up then to positive infinity. Infinity never gets a bracket symbol because you can never equal infinity. Infinity is a concept rather than a number itself. Let's say we have the inequality x is less than 2. This, true to form, would have an open circle at 2, and everything to the left of 2 would then be shaded on the number line. In interval notation, this would extend from negative infinity, beginning with a parenthesis, on up to 2, which we also do not include, as indicated by the closed parentheses. Okay, just trying to get every single pattern in here. Let's write out x is less than or equal to 2. This would involve a filled-in circle at 2 with all values to the left of it on the number line shaded in. In interval notation, we would write this as the interval from negative infinity up to 2 inclusive of the 2, which we indicate with the bracketed symbol here. Now let's talk about combining inequalities together. Let's begin with a betweenness model. Let's say we have x is between 3 and 5 inclusive of the 5. On the number line, this would entail an open circle at 3, a filled-in circle at 5, and the region between these two numbers shaded in. Each point that has shading on it is part of the solution set. 3 on the left interval endpoint is not included, yet 5 is on the right interval endpoint. This in interval notation would be written as from 3 to 5, where we use a parenthesis because we do not include the 3 at the left endpoint, and a bracket because we do include the 5 at the right endpoint. We can mix and match these parentheses and bracket symbols depending upon what we see in the original inequality. When we have an inequality such as x is less than 3 or x is greater than or equal to 5, this gives our solution set two different regions. It's either off to the left of 3, which I'm going to indicate as an open circle with the shading to the left, or to the right of and including 5, which would be a solid dot at 5 with all the values to the right of it shaded. In interval notation, we need to join two intervals together. So we write from negative infinity up to 3, parentheses, union, bracket, 5 to positive infinity. The union symbol is the proper symbol to join two sets together. It's like having an addition sign in arithmetic, but we're not allowed to use addition signs with sets, so we use the union symbol instead. Finally, if we have all real numbers, which really we cannot write as an inequality, on the number line, this would have everything shaded, including the arrows at both ends. I will put a 0 for reference in the center of that number line. In interval notation, this would be all values from negative infinity to positive infinity.